Hi, this is Maya from the Worldwide Good News, and I have my dear friend Sherif from Cairo, Egypt, to tell us a little bit about how it feels to be in Egypt these days. So much amazing news coming out of there, and I wanted to hear from you, Sherif. How are you feeling about everything that is going? How do you feel about how does the street feel? Like, what is the news you're feeling from around your own people? And just tell us about what's been going on the last couple of days.
Hi, Maya. It's good to be with you again in your fantastic program. Well, it's quite exciting actually. Everything is changing very fast. Uh, Nobody has ever expected that a change to happen that fast, or even some people just lost hope that there is going to be a change in Egypt recently. But then all of a sudden, this happened. Uh, we're just witnessing history here in Egypt now. How am I feeling? I don't know. A bit confused, a bit happy, excited about it, anticipating. I don't know what's going to happen next. I don't know.
Yeah, so what is the feeling from the street? Is that we're getting from the media in the West, we're getting a lot of hopeful messages from the Egyptian street. Is that what you're seeing with your friends, with your neighbors, with people that you talk to?
Yeah, mainly people are quite satisfied and happy about the fact that we are going to have something like a president every 2 terms,
Hmm.
maximum 2 terms. That's really great change because when somebody stays in power for so long, power corrupts him. Power
Yeah,
corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely.
yeah,
Somebody once said. So really, that's a big change and very positive.
yeah.
Besides, we are seeking to have uh, complete freedom, absolute freedom of press.
Hmm.
Everybody should be actually saying whatever he feels, as long as he's quite decent about it. We shouldn't be
Yes.
insulting everybody. That's why I really have a bit of reservation about the fact that some demonstrators were raising banners against President Mubarak. I think you can say whatever you like about his performance as a president, but you cannot say anything about him as a person because if you start using that language, then later on people will use this language against you. So it will be kind of a fight more than practicing democracy. So when we
Yeah.
practice democracy, we should actually keep the fact that we should be respectful to all other members. If you have a disagreement with the person, you don't insult him.
Yeah.
So we just need to exercise democracy in a decent way.
Yes. Oh, no, that's great to hear. And what are your feelings about the way this is gonna transpire? What are your hopes for the next 9 months for the different presidential possibilities? Like, do you know, is there any knowledge of who can come, who could be a very good candidate? Is there any candidates starting to actually really line up that you think could be a good fit for Egypt?
Yeah, as a start, I think if we just start now nominating names, it would be quite uh, impractical because
Hmm.
practically speaking, if it's run in a democratic way, then what we should do actually is to listen to people. People should present their programs, and we should know for sure what kind of policies and what kind of political approach that they have in mind. So unless we know that, we cannot say who is who. But
Yeah.
for example, I have in mind a name like Tariq Heggi. He's a
Hmm.
liberal thinker and very successful. And for me, he's a good candidate, but he hasn't shown up yet
Hmm.
or proposed to be the president of Egypt. But so far, we need to relax. We need to take time. We need to listen to people telling us about their programs, and we need to know everything about their background. And we also need to see them debating the hot issues that we're going to have in Egypt. Like we have very hot issues like the Israeli-Egyptian peace treaty,
Hmm.
uh, a relationship between Egypt and the USA, Egypt and the European Union, Egypt and China and Japan.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, Lots of problems like medical insurance problems in Egypt, unemployment, tourism. So we have to listen to them talking about all these hot issues before we decide whether we should vote for them or not.
Yeah, and the great thing is you get to decide. As a people, you get to decide who's going to be next. for once having the first time in a long time having any kind of choice about who you want to see as a head and who we want to see as leaders. And I think it's probably something that really, really excites the whole nation, right?
Yeah, the fact that this will be part of the constitution, like
Hmm.
he knows that he's gonna stay only for 2 years, 12 years maximum,
Yeah.
is something great because he know that if he leaves, when he leaves, he wouldn't just leave when he dies, but he would leave after 12 years. So that gives us a chance to really actually make him try to give good performance so that he
Hmm.
would be well remembered afterwards.
Oh, that's great. And what are your hopes in how this progresses the next like 2 years? What is the changes you want to see in the politics and the people way of behaving in commerce and media? I mean, we have talked about 100% free media, which is very important, and I think the media also played a great part in this peaceful revolution. So how do you see the next 2 years evolving, and what would you hope for?
Well, I hope for more transparency, like we know exactly what's going on.
Hmm.
Uh, well, media actually have been manipulated for some time by either by some businessmen or by the government. So
Hmm.
I need to see like real media people just telling the message as it is,
Hmm.
from different angles, not from just one point of view. And well, we've had enough of big mouth. Lots
Yeah.
of people who just talk, 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 and big slogans. We need people who are really pragmatic and realistic. We don't need
Yes.
the slogans and big words. We need just more action.
More action is definitely something really good. And how do you feel about the way the West, the media in the West, on the different levels of the media in the West, treated the whole situation as it was unfolding?
Well, I was quite impressed by the BBC actually. I think they were quite good at it.
Hmm.
Uh, well, CNN was quite like shaking. Sometimes totally against Mubarak, sometimes not totally against, and not totally with, and sometimes totally against. Well, I couldn't actually figure out where they were heading.
Hmm.
Uh, but for BBC, I think they were much more rational and actually more realistic in dealing with the situation.
Oh, that's good to know. And for the future for yourself, how do you see yourself as an Egyptian living in this amazing transformative time? Like, what would you wish for yourself?
Well, I've got my own personal things to wish for, but I mean, the regime wouldn't have stopped them. I mean,
Hmm.
but I wouldn't say that I would be living much better because of that, or I would be living much worse because of that. I mean, at the end of the day, it's you who is doing something. But of course, it's much better to live in a country where you know that law is going to be respected. I don't know exactly if it's going to be respected the way I think it should be or not,
Hmm.
but as a start, it's a good start. As a start, it's a good one. But I don't know. I cannot say anything about the future till now.
Hmm.
I don't want to be so hasty
Yeah.
and use big words as well and say the future will be fantastic. No, I don't know. I mean, the future is only up to us. So what we
Yes.
can do about it is Egypt. So Egypt is us. So if we do work hard, and then things will be completely different.
Oh, that's really great. Yeah, thank you for that observation. And good luck with everything. I mean, we're all like the whole world is watching Egypt right now. It's so exciting. And I really want to see more of that change continuing in that positive way in the whole of the Middle East, but also for Egypt to
Yeah,
continue being in that stream of real freedom and but also transparency versus
yeah,
just freedom.
true.
Transparency and like accountability will be a very good word as well. That you not only okay we've got the revolution, but actually stick to it and continue it stage by stage in a smart way. And I'm really hoping that's what's going to happen in Egypt.
Yeah, what's very much needed now is to really think and meditate on what Gandhi said: "Be the change you want to see in the world."
Yes.
So if we really want to live that dream, then we have to be that dream. We cannot
Mm.
just ask others to do that for us. So if we really are in a way living the way that we think people should do or the government should do, so we have to really follow suit. We have to do the same thing. So it's up to us now, and also I think we should also also, I also want to quote Gandhi when he said, uh, "Hate the sin, but love the sinner." So
Mm-hmm.
I find some people now have become very vindictive about President Mubarak. I mean, we shouldn't do that. We should
Mm-hmm.
just relax a little bit. And if there is a problem concerning his performance, you can sue him in the courthouse. But we
Yeah.
cannot just start using name, calling him names, and saying that he. Well, we just have to really be realistic about it, and just if you have problem with whatever, if you got information, just you can sue him in the courthouse, but we cannot use bad words. So we might hate his performance, but
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't actually hate him.
Yes, well, that's really good to hear, and it's a really great way of looking at it. Yeah, not a blame game, but empowering your own selves and making new choices better versus looking at the back and blaming whatever President Mubarak did. It's a really open way of looking at things, and I'm commending you for saying that. Um, and anything else you would like to wish for yourself and for Egypt for the next year?
Yeah, what I would like to say that we should really work hard, and if there is a chance that we can do any change, it could start from work. It could start from the way we deal with our jobs, from the way we deal with each other, uh, and the change comes from within, not from the outside world.
Yes, definitely. Change comes from within wherever you are in the world. And
Exactly.
it's really, yeah, and it's I really commend you and I really wish you and the Egyptian people and the whole of the Middle East to change from within and work towards peace and justice and coexistence in the whole of the Middle East because when
True.
we can do that in the Middle East, we can do it anywhere else in the world.
Very much true. Very much
Yes.
true.
Thank you so much, Sharif. I'm wishing you all the best. And have a great next few months. I think the whole world is going to be really seeing what's going on there and wishing the Egyptian people freedom and justice.
Thank you very much for your feelings, Maya.
Yeah. Thank you. And this was Maya from the Worldwide Good News.